Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So today we're talking about Charles Barkley and how he took issue with the way the Warriors played their game against the Mavericks last night, and just his issues with modern-day basketball in general. We're also getting into some Super Bowl predictions and conversations, so get ready for that. But before we do all that, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JRayTheFanatic.
What's up, y'all? Happy 2.5 days till Super Bowl. It's your girl, Britt. You guys can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson.
Okay, so ladies, besides watching the Super Bowl, what are your plans for the weekend? Anything fun going on?
The Super Bowl. That is like my only plan. That is my only plan for the weekend. Tonight, I'm actually going to dinner for the first time in like a million years. I literally have 20 outfits picked out. I'm like, I don't even know what to wear because I haven't put clothes on for like a year. So I'm excited. I get to put heels on. I'm like, you guys have no idea how excited I am because the last time we were able to eat outside in California, it was like summertime. So I have a bunch of boots and heels that I need to put some use to. And I only can pick one pair. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my outfit for appetizer, dinner, and dessert. I don't know.
That sounds like the best solution if you ask me. Just bring a change of clothes for every course.
Right.
What restaurant are you going to?
I'm going to Nobu in West Hollywood just because that was the only thing I could find. You guys don't understand LA. The reservations are booked out for months right now. Like I went on Open Table and I was like trying to find something, and then I think somebody had just deleted a reservation, so I was able to get in. But even my birthday dinner, which is 3 weeks from now, I had to book it yesterday because all the places I wanted to go, booked.
Yeah,
but trying new places. So.
It's wild. When restaurants started opening up, I went on Open Table and Resi, and I made reservations for like every night of every weekend for the next month because I wanted to go. Yeah, I was on it. Jackie, what about you? Besides the Super Bowl, anything fun happening for you?
Well, my brother moved I have one brother here in LA, and he moved right at the beginning of quarantine. And I think I told you guys he ended up getting COVID. So I haven't seen him in like a year. So I will be driving to his place to watch the Super Bowl with him over the weekend. It's far. It's like an hour drive. I'm driving up, and we going to kick it. I'm driving up Saturday night, and we going to hang out the whole weekend. So, yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yep.
Well,
y'all gotta go for different teams just because of the sibling rivalry.
He's a die-hard New England Patriots fan, so he's going for, I know. I let that sink in, right?
What?
Right. So he is going for Tom Brady. There's a guy in my building that is a Chiefs fan. I've asked him if I can borrow a Chiefs jersey, and I will be wearing that Chiefs jersey, and we will be going for opposite teams. So it should be fun.
Fun. Well, I am becoming an auntie for the second time tomorrow, so that's part of my plans for the weekend. I know, I'm so excited. New little baby in my life. But you guys, let's jump right into the news. A boy. Another boy.
Oh, so now you have 2 boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my sister, she has 2 sons. She'll have 2 sons starting tomorrow. So I'm so excited. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, let's get into the news. Let's talk about it because I could gush on and on about my sister's babies. I love them, and I know that's not why everybody's tuning in, so I'll save that for another time. My Instagram story. Okay, so Charles Barkley was really frustrated with the Warriors versus Mavs game yesterday. The Warriors pulled out their usual small ball style. They had the tallest guy that they had was 6'7", and it was just, the Warriors are known for shooting a ton of threes, and that's kind of like their game. But then the Mavs also put up 53 pointers when they really, I think, should have taken advantage of the size that they had. That was like definitely an advantage that they could have worked with. Let's take a look at Charles Barkley's angry rant here. Leo, can you throw that clip up for us?
Yeah, listen, y'all play that. I'm gonna be the old man, get off my lawn. Y'all sit there and watch this stupid ass basketball. Just jack up threes all night. They go in, we win, we miss, they lose. Give me a break, you dumbass. Easy.
So he is just clearly just horrified by what he saw. He says it's stupid ass basketball. The Mavs, the team with the worst 3-point percentage in the whole league, were forced to play on the perimeter. More than half of their shots in the first half were threes, and Charles Barkley is just not here for it. We know the old guys don't typically like that 3-point heavy basketball, but that's kind of the way the game is played now in a lot of ways. And, the Warriors really brought back that small ball. So let's talk about this. Jackie, I want to start with you. Do you agree or disagree with Charles Barkley's assessment of the game? Is this stupid-ass basketball?
I hate to say this, but I 100% agree with Charles Barkley. I checked the tapes. I've been saying this for the longest time. I hate this kind of basketball. It's like basketball tennis. It's run, shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot, pull up and shoot. I don't like that. I like the bigs. And you've got the bigs. You got Porzingis out there. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? It doesn't make any sense. And that's the thing that I've always said. That 3-point shot ain't for everybody. I know that Steph came out and changed the game, but that ain't for everybody. Not everybody's good at it. And some of y'all big as hell. And there's no reason that y'all shouldn't be just killing the paint. It just makes no sense. I do not enjoy watching the Warriors play. I never have. I love Clay. I love Steph. I love Draymond. But as far as me sitting down and watching a game, it gets boring. I'll watch the fourth quarter, but it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It is dumbass basketball. I hate that I agree with Charles on this, but he's 100% correct. There's no enjoyment. There's no entertainment value in it. If I wanted to watch tennis, I'd watch tennis. This is not, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely lacks, I think, that level of physicality, and I knew you would agree with Charles, which really doesn't happen on this panel often, ever. We typically do not agree with him. But Britt, let's talk to you. So the Warriors have obviously popularized this small ball style of play, and this is how they win. Can we really fault them for playing this way?
The reason why they played that way, in particularly yesterday, because they actually have always kind of had like a big still, like they haven't been like the Houston Rockets, where they didn't even have a player that was over like 6'5", 6'6". Like they've always had a solid 5. Yesterday, though, 2 of their centers were out. They didn't have 2 of their big guys playing. Like the only big guy they had was Porzingis. Other than that, they didn't have, like, James Wiseman was out, and what's his name? Looney was out too. So like they had their other 2 big guys were out. So they had no other choice but to play like that. But I do think the Warriors have done a better job, especially as of late, when we saw, Steph get injured and Clay get injured, focusing on making sure they have a big, which is why they used their first round pick to draft James Wiseman this year, because they understand the importance of having that big on their team. It just so happened that their big was hurt. 2 of their bigs were hurt yesterday and didn't play. I think they both just had some like sprained ankle kind of thing. It was like a simple little injury, like nothing to be worried about. But that's why I think we just saw a glimpse of like the Warriors that we know from like back in the day, and I don't think they're trying to do that. I think they want to move into not being that team. So I don't think that's something that they were trying to do. But I mean, the Mavs didn't take advantage of the situation and just didn't play no defense and let them just keep shooting. So of course they're going to do that, because that's what they're good at and that's what they know. But I do think the Warriors have been making a point to make sure they focus on not just having a big, but having a good big. And again, they've always had a solid big. Like, I know some of you guys want to hate on JaVale McGee, but they've always still had like a solid big on their team. Like, so I don't think that that's something that the Warriors necessarily focus on. It's just happens to be a strong suit for them, just because they had 2 of the best, 3-point shooters in the league at the time on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a them that other teams try to mimic, and I think that's what annoys me. Yeah. It's like they came in the game and did this, but everyone was trying to annoy it. And I get But Porzingis should live. His zip code should be the paint. That's where he should live. I don't care what team you're playing. He just plays better in the paint to me. But I definitely agree with Charles on this one. And it's funny. I've always given Steph credit because the second they were successful in it, teams looked to them and said, "Hey, we've got to mimic them in some way." And that's kind of still what we're seeing. But that just doesn't make for entertaining basketball to me.
Yeah. And then, randomly, Kelly Oubre had like this monster game yesterday, like that's not something we're going to normally see. So, yeah, I just think that the Mavs played really poorly yesterday and didn't take advantage of the fact that the Warriors, for random reason, did not have any of their bigs playing.
Mm-hmm. I was happy to see Kelly Oubre have that career game last night. That was really exciting for him.
That's
Jackie, I know, I love him. But Jackie, I kind of wanted to ask you the same thing. So when you take entertainment value out of basketball, I know that it's less fun to watch for you, but does it really matter how the Warriors decide to play? A win is a win. So what's your take on all of that?
I mean, yeah, to get the W. But I'm not going to watch your W. You know what I mean? Like I watch a lot of basketball, and if it's on, I'll watch it. But I'm not watching a Warriors game because I know it's boring as hell. I'd rather watch Lifetime, and Lifetime is trash. So I'm just not going to watch. I'm not going to watch the Warriors play because it's not fun for me. But at the same time, you got a goal. Your goal is to win. If this is how you win, keep winning that way, and let Charles be mad. He's going to be mad anyway, so just let him be mad. I'm not mad. I'm just not going to watch. That's it.
Right. All right, let's move into some Super Bowl predictions, you guys. So obviously it's going down on Sunday. We've got the old GOAT and the new GOAT coming face to face. It's going to be, I think, an exciting game. I know you guys disagreed when we talked about it earlier on in the week. But let's talk about who do you predict is going to win? Do you have any ideas or predictions as to what's going to happen? Who's going to be Super Bowl MVP? Britt, let's start with you.
I'm praying this game does not turn out to be like, that Warriors game yesterday where there's not very much defense being played. I hope it's not like that. I hope we don't see like a crazy high scoring game because I do think I'm a defense girl, like my favorite positions are always like the linebackers and the safeties and the corners. Like I love defense for football, and I don't want to see like a high scoring game. I would actually love it if both teams could lose because I'm taken back to like the very first game of the season when the Chiefs played the Texans and the Chiefs fans were booing when the players decided to do that moment of silence altogether, that moment of unity. And I just don't feel like Chiefs fans deserve to win a back-to-back Super Bowl. I don't think I would be happy to see that. Like last year, I did go to the AFC Championship game with the Chiefs and the Titans, and the Chiefs fans were fine. I didn't have a problem when I was there at the game, and I thought everybody was nice. But then to see the first game of the season on that Thursday Night Football and see the reaction of fans, I don't want them to win because of that. Obviously, I like Tyreek Hill. I like Pat Mahomes. I like these guys. I like, Andy Reid as a coach, even though he was with the Eagles for 14 seasons. Oh, and I'm a Cowboys fan. You guys know how I feel about that. And then on the other side of it, me and Jackie came to the realization, you guys will see more in depth of it on the Weekend Zone, so I'm not going to give it too much away, but we might have taken a little bit of a liking to the Tom Brady that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Tom Brady. We have noticed he's just a different guy. And I know, weird.
Wait, is this like the Bizarro world? I'm confused.
Jackie's bringing me to Simp Nation over here, okay? Apparently. But it's also Tom Brady, and I kind of don't want to see him win. Gronk is cool, but he's also really annoying. But I like Antonio Brown. I want to see Antonio Brown win after the terrible year and a half he had of his football career for the last year and a half. So I don't know, but I also want to see them lose because I do still not like Tom Brady, but I like him better than the Patriots Tom Brady. So it's a lot. Everybody's been asking me all week. You guys in the comments at the beginning of the show today were already asking me, Britt, what's my Super Bowl pick? I still don't know. I do not know who I'm going to be rooting for. I might just have to just sit out and like just watch the game for it actually being a football game and just enjoy the football aspect of it and not care who wins.
All right. Interesting. There was a lot of information in there that I was not expecting to hear from you, Britt. So
Right?
I am surprised. Okay, so let's talk about Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, Jackie. So we've discussed this a few times on the show. Is this a make or break game for Patrick Mahomes? Does he need to win in order to solidify his legacy? And do you think that Tom Brady could potentially retire after this year?
So Tom Brady says he's made it clear he wants to play till he's 45. So that's a no. He will continue playing. Is this a make or break game for Patrick Mahomes? No. I mean, I still think Patrick Mahomes is great. It's a goat or break game for him. Like, now we're just going to continue to call him great. But if he doesn't beat the goat, then now you're just great. You're out of the GOAT conversation. But he's got a long career ahead of him. He's going to do big things. For him to even have this opportunity to go back to back at 25 is crazy. So his legacy just already is it's not, I want to say it's cemented, but it's like rubber glued right now. It's getting close to being cemented because that is a feat in itself. But I love everything I see as far as the camaraderie with KC. I love how they ride for each other. I love how they pick each other up when they're down. You guys know the chemistry is a big thing to me because it really can help. It can help you get over that hump. It can help you overcome that, you're pissed off because you fumbled the ball and maybe that results in points for the other team, but you still got to go back out there. You still got to keep playing. And they lift each other up in a way that I think is going to be really important, because if you get down against the GOAT, then all of a sudden your mind starts going, oh, crap, like what are we doing? What are we doing? So that camaraderie that they have is really going to be great. And I think everybody I hear what Britt's saying, but there is a Cinderella story with the Chiefs, with this being Patrick Mahomes and his second time, and he's so young. There's a lot of villains on Tampa Bay. You got Tom Brady, which a whole lot of people don't like. I love Antonio Brown. A lot of people don't. So there's a lot of people that are like probably going to, as far as karma, think that they shouldn't win. But I don't have a dog in this race. If I could get a jersey that had Tampa Bay on one side and the Chiefs on the other, so I could just root for whoever had the ball, that's what I would do. Because I just honestly don't care. Once Drew Brees and my stuff is out, like, I don't care. I don't care.
Question: am I the only one that, like, I go to games, like, not my team playing, like Cowboys will not be playing, and I still have Cowboys stuff on? Like, I've literally gone to like an Eagles and Washington football team game, and I have like a Cowboys jersey on, or like a Bears and a Packers game, and I have like Cowboys stuff on. Is that
I'm like, no, it's not. But when I was living in Denver, I was mad petty because I hated the Broncos, even though we had Bronco season tickets, and I had a jersey for every single team just in case the Broncos played them, and I would show up in the jersey of whoever the Broncos were playing against. So I was petty. I never wore Raiders. So at the time I was a Dallas fan, so I didn't wear Raiders. I would not wear Washington. I would not wear Eagles stuff, and I would not wear. There was teams that were just off limits, but so.
Okay, you guys, I have one more quick question that I want to ask both of you. Jackie, I'll hear from you first on this one. When the NBA went into the bubble, people always said that that finals win was going to have an asterisk next to it. Do you feel that way about this Super Bowl win?
I mean, I didn't feel that way about the bubble. I thought people who said that were kind of played a competitive sport, and they don't know how, when you're kind of thrown off kilter and thrown out of your habit, for you to be able to go out there and still win in that is a big deal. And the NFL has had it tremendously easier than the NBA does. So absolutely not. They've had it, a lot of their practices and things of that nature have been similar to what they're used to. Yes, they've changed slightly, but not to the extent that the NBA did, where everything shut down and now we have to rethink this whole thing. They've had it a lot easier. So this definitely isn't an asterisk. This maybe for the fans, because we haven't got to enjoy it the way that we're used to, but for the players, no, this is just normal football for me.
And then, Britt, what's your take on that? Is this an asterisk season? That's such a hard word to say.
I know, right?
I actually kind of think it does, just going back to what I've said back in what happened in November and December with Pittsburgh. Like, I really think that the NFL set the Chiefs up to be in this spot. They gave them every benefit of the doubt. They literally dissed the Steelers, who were at that time going on this 11-0 record, or 11 straight games or whatever. And they literally made the Steelers play a ton of games in a short amount of time, which got them really tired, which got, they're really got the best of them. They ended up having to go in a situation where they would have been that bye week team and had that time, but then they had to go back to back playing the Browns and then playing them again. And I just think that once that happened and they had that situation happen late November, early December, I think that kind of put the nail in the coffin for their season. And I think that gave a clear path, easy path for the Chiefs to be in this situation. So I kind of do think not as because of COVID and because of whatever, but I think that the NFL was able to take advantage of who they wanted to kind of place in this position to be in, this moment. Even with the Bucks did not have very many consequences when they were having the Tom Brady and the team hanging out and doing all this kind of stuff, when no other teams were allowed to do that. And when other teams came into situations where they were doing stuff like that, they were punished for it. So I do kind of feel like it, because the NFL, because of COVID, was allowed to kind of pull strings a little easier and then just blame it on, COVID, but then they wouldn't take advantage of it in other situations. Like, some teams had harder rules and had discipline more than other teams were in situations, and other teams got passes on stuff. So I don't know. I do kind of feel like these two teams are in this position because that's what the NFL wanted, and it made it easier for them to be there. Not that I don't think that they're deserving, though. So I do think that they are both really good teams, but it does kind of rub me the wrong way how the NFL season kind of panned out and how certain teams had favoritism over others.
Yeah, that's a good point. We did see that, and we talked about that on the show. So that is something that we saw and worth considering when thinking about this season as a whole. But let's wrap up Need to Know News. And Jackie, can you take us into the post-up?
Yes, let's do this right now. I'm excited about this one. This is the last Friday before we do the Super Bowl weekend, and I'm excited about it. And yes, I might wear a split jersey. I saw Robert in the chat say that's simping. I know y'all think I care about that stuff like that, but I really don't. What I care about is my King James and my Lakers. That's it. That's all I really care about. And my Saints, but they're out, so we're just gonna rock with this. We talked about this a lot throughout the week, but we know that the All-Star game is going to be on March 7th. I think we all think it's a dumb idea. I think the players, yesterday we asked, do the players think it's a bad idea? We know a lot of them do, but I think all of them are going to play, including LeBron James. LeBron James says if he's selected, he would definitely be there. But that doesn't mean he's not going to rip the NBA a new one in the meantime. Check out what he had to say about this.
The Players Association and the league came about, short off season for myself and my teammates was 71 days. And then coming to the season, we were told that we were not having an all-star game, so we had a nice little break. 5 days from the 5th through the 10th, an opportunity for me to kind of recalibrate for the second half of the season, my teammates as well, some of the guys in the league, and then they throw an all-star game on us like this and just breaks that all the way up. So pretty much kind of a slap in the face. We're also still dealing with a pandemic. We're still dealing with everything that's been going on. And we're going to bring the whole league into one city that's open. Obviously, the pandemic has absolutely nothing to do with it at this point when it comes to that weekend. Obviously, you guys can see I'm not very happy about it, but it's out of my hands, and I'll be there if I'm selected. But I'll be there physically, but not mentally.
I think that's fair, because it's like that's the thing that kind of pissed Deshaun Watson off, right? Like, say what you're going to do what you're going to say. Don't say one thing and do another. You told everybody, like, hey, don't worry about it, because of the pandemic, we're not going to have the All-Star. And then somebody, and I can guarantee you, an accountant was like, yeah, but we losing this kind of money. We can gain this much money with the All-Star game. This is a money grab. That's all that it is. And it is really kind of silly. Twitter obviously had some reaction to it as well. And I love this fan because there's some honesty in it. And he says, selfishly, I want an all-star game. It's my weekend in sports. COVID-wise, the NBA has proven they can remain COVID-free as they are right now. I understand LeBron is tired and he's playing every game, but I hope he ends up playing and doing well for the love of the game and the fans. And obviously LeBron will do that, but I love this fans' honesty. Like, yeah, it don't make sense, but I'm a fan and I want to see it. So another user had another response that's kind of along the same lines. Like, I don't think it'll be the same without fans. And honestly, the fact is it's an ATL is very dumb because COVID doesn't exist in a lot of minds. I don't know. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous move, to be honest. And that's true. We're still in this time where the news is kind of weird for me. It's like on one second you'll hear somebody say, oh, this new wave of this virus is coming. And on the other hand, it's like, so what? Let's play. It is a little weird. Britt, how do you feel about LeBron's comments about this? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I get why players feel that way. And I said this back in November when they were, the NBA and the NBPA were talking about what they're going to do with the season. All of this stuff should have been ironed out, like clean, like this is our contract. This is what we are agreeing to do. And have it written and have, the NBPA, like have Chris Paul and all them sign off on it and have the NBA, Adam Silver and them sign off on it. And that's what it is. The NBA had a very long time since the start. It's been almost a year since, the NBA first shut down from the pandemic to figure out what they were going to do for this upcoming season. This is not something that they had to throw together or whatever last minute. They had a long time to decide what was going to happen, and they completely, I think, ruined it. Bust. This is a total bust. The bubble was so great, and now they're coming back into the season, and everything is a complete bust. We've talked about several times the confusion players have had with like games and COVID and like all this kind of weird stuff. This should have every year. There's an all-star game. Every year the NBA takes a week off and has all-star stuff, whatever. That's not something that is new. They should have had this stuff figured out. Like even the NFL did a better job, I would say, than the NBA is doing on this second round of it. Yes, the bubble, amazing. But that was just, we're just going to hide everybody here and do something here. But when you have to come out back into the world, you don't know what to do with yourself. The NFL was literally doing stuff week by week, as we know, as we saw. They were kind of making up rules here and there, and they had a more success rate than we're seeing with the NFL or with the NBA right now. It's weird. It's so confusing how the NBA could go from doing such a great job and getting such high praise to this moment now where everybody is like confused, mad. We shouldn't even be talking about are we or are we not going to have an all-star game. That should have already been decided when you were deciding if you were going to have a season or not. Like, I don't understand this, really.
LeBron said something similar at the beginning.
Yeah.
Hammered out factually. That's kind of beef right there. It's like, why are we even talking about this? It should have been handled by the NBA, Players Association, but it wasn't. And then you told us we weren't going to play, and now we're playing. So totally understand. And it's got to be a frustrating situation because especially when you're coming back. And I know that was a ploy. I know somewhere along the lines, players were like, this is too much. We're coming back too quick. And then Adam Silver was like, well, don't worry about it. Instead of the All-Star game, we're going to give you that break in March. And now they're like, haha, just kidding. So I know a lot of guys are pissed off, and I totally get it. But yesterday, what was the main thing I said when we were talking about Giannis being so disrespectful and taking that break on the sideline and deciding he wanted to be a photographer? I was like, I need to see the pictures he took. I want to see if he's any good at it. Does he have any potential? And guess what I found? I found the damn pictures. Here we go. So I like this picture. This is a good picture. I like that they so now they're going to take time out like, oh, we see our boys got this camera. Let's pose for him. Y'all so disrespectful, though. I like the picture, but it's so disrespectful. Let's go on to the next one. This one I like. Could have been a little tighter. Could have zoomed in a little bit more, but it's okay. He's just starting out. Not bad. Let's go to this next one. Again, it's a little too wide. Zoom in, but not bad. This last one, I think there's another one. Yep, got to get my brother in there, and you got to zoom in on your brother. Why am I seeing this TV thing in the middle? He's got some work to do, but overall, I'm gonna give him a C plus maybe on his photography. I'm just gonna ask both of you, Devin, what grade are you giving Giannis on his photography skills?
Oof, I think it's safe to say that Giannis does not have the photographer's eye. He doesn't have that creative, vision. I think he gets I'm going to give him a D. The posed photo was good, but it's easy to take a good picture of people posing. But the action shot's not good.
Okay, so he's got a D and a C minus. Britt?
Yeah, I'm with Devin on this one. He gets a D from me because even the pose picture, I don't like the angles going like this. I know no girl does. If they didn't have masks on, we would have saw all up their nose, like all the double chin. Yeah, that's not a good angle for any pose or for any picture where you're like taking with people in it posing. Don't like it. Even the other pictures, they're not as sharp, like I feel like I would have taken a better picture with my iPhone than he took with like probably $15,000 camera. So D.
To be fair, that camera he's using, unless the photographer before him had set to manual focus, which no professional photographer does, then he probably doesn't know how to focus yet. But I know he saw that damn TV monitor thing, like you couldn't zoom in past that. So C minus. There's somebody in the chat that gave him a C plus. We've got a B minus. That's a reason, but I'm gonna C minus D is should be the average. Good try though. I mean, good first try. Do better though. You got a whole girlfriend, and I know you've taken pictures of her, and she's given the phone back and said, "No, take it again." You have a little bit of practice. I know you do. You could have done better. So I'm just gonna stick with my C minus to D. But we're gonna move on to this next one because we're talking about the Warriors again, because that game, I just saw a glimpse of it. Like I said, I didn't like it. It wasn't fun to me. We already talked about Kelly scoring those 40 points, which is crazy. And everyone on the Warriors, except for Kent Bazemore and Brad Wanamaker, were in double digits. Every single one. That is crazy to me. And then, speaking of good pictures, photographer gets this picture of Steph being so disrespectful and laughing at the Mavs and the fact that they were just getting blown out. They ended up losing that game by 31 points. When I saw this picture, I got so mad. But thankfully, I am no longer in Twitter jail, so I was able to kind of scroll through and see some things. And this user kind of set the record straight, which is good because I didn't want to be mad at Steph. But he said, no, that's not true. He was laughing at the hot potato between Mulder and Bays. Why are you antagonizing Mavs fans? And then I like this one guy. He was like, because we Dubs fan, bro. That's what we do. Like, we just antagonize people. But no, Steph is not that shady. He was laughing at a totally different incident, which I'm okay with because I was about to just, don't be that disrespectful. It's ridiculous. This next one, though, this is the one I really wanted to get to in this post-up because there is nothing more embarrassing than having all kinds of time. You ain't nobody but you in the basket and you miss the dunk. Donovan, my guy, what's going on? Take a look at this.
Do that especially at home, and they have to be stronger. And Nick, as we're watching this unfold here.
Not the reporter laughing too.
Like, oh, now we just gonna laugh at you all in your face. That is pathetic. I don't know what you was thinking, but he decided to make this lame excuse. This is the worst explanation I have heard for why he missed the dunk. He was like, well, I was thinking of what dunk to do. Why? Bye. Ain't nobody you had enough time. There was somebody on that side of the court. You had enough time to think about it, calculate it, measure it, and then get it right. And then one fan had the best advice ever because it's a factual statement and nobody's buying that excuse. Donovan, bruh, just dunk it. You were already in the dunk contest. You ain't got any new ammunition. So yes, just next time, just dunk it. Don't be out here embarrassing us like that. Go ahead, Britt.
Jackie, this is terrible because not only was he in the dunk contest, he won. Like, the dunk contest is my jam, okay? I know everybody that's in dunk contests. Zach LaVine, obviously one of my favorites ever, but he won the dunk contest. Like, what, 2-3 years ago now? Like, come on. Wait, at first I was like, okay, well, I mean, he's only 6 feet, that's great that he has hops and, can dunk it and stuff like that. But man, you won.
All you had to do is, you didn't have to do, we don't care. We don't care. We know you won.
said he wants All-Star Weekend to happen so he can, practice again or something like that, apparently. But come on, Donovan, my guy.
Right. Your own time. Don't practice in a game when the commentators can laugh all in your face. Don't do that. That's just embarrassing. Embarrassing. All right, so let's get on to my boy, though. I love me some Boogie Cousins. I love him. He has spent too much of his career getting paid to rehab. So anytime he is on the court and he's playing and he's healthy, it's all love for me. And I love his flex moment. Like, y'all see me. Check out him kind of posing for the cameras.
The ball on the floor stands. Follow Morant. 3 shots. Look at DeMarcus Cousins.
I love that. Yes. I love you so much. You have no idea how much I love you. And so that just made my whole entire day. But I guess we just on this flex train right now because Serena out here flexing in a whole nother way, y'all. Y'all got to go and find this video of Serena kind of doing a tour of her house and stuff, especially when she shows her office and like she got all these magazine covers. That woman has been on so many magazine covers. It is crazy. But she's won so many trophies that she's just going to flex and like, oh, did I win this many? How many was that? Like, I've won so many of this, the trophy has changed now. Y'all got to watch this whole flex. This is hilarious.
Trophies. And then some really cool pieces that really mean a lot to me. Wheaties box. I don't keep a lot of my Grand Slam trophies here. I do see an Australian Open trophy. Oh, wait. There's a US Open trophy. Okay. Here's one. Oh, that's 2002. Okay. That was a while ago. This looks like one. I am so bad with trophies. Is this one? Let's see. This is Roland Garros, the French Open. Clearly, I don't have a lot of those, so I can't tell you. That one. I only have 2 or 3. I don't even remember. 2, 3.
Way to go.
I got a couple over here. Like, yeah, just a whole go. It's fact. There was one point where she's like, oh, look, I forgot about this trophy. And then she sees a second place trophy and she goes, ooh, somebody throw this in the trash. We don't keep second place trophies. And she's dead ass about that, which I thought was hilarious. But the responses to this were classic. Everybody just noticed. And it's her casual flex for me. It's not even like blatant. It's just a casual flex. And he said, my favorite flex here, and there are many, is essentially, I've been winning Wimbledon so long, they changed the trophy in the interim. Facts. That's crazy to me. And that one comes from Franklin Leonard. And then this one says, I don't keep a lot of my Grand Slam trophies here, is the all-time flex. Right. How you get so many trophies that you ain't like, I just don't keep those. And then this one said, I love that she's won so many times that she doesn't even remember what is what anymore. Girl, if you don't, that's why she got on a muscle. She just be flexing so hard on all of us. That was so insane. Love it. But that is GOAT status for sure. But now let's get on to another GOAT. Now, we've already said that Britt and I, y'all got to watch the Weekend Zone because we came to this realization together that we're not as mad at Tampa Bay Tom Brady as we was at the Patriots Tom Brady. So the question becomes, who hates Tom Brady the most? I know it's a broad question, but apparently there's a whole map to indicate who hates Tom Brady the most. Now, the darker the color, the more hate there is. You see here in California, not a lot of hate on the East Coast. But for those of you who didn't take geography or did take geography and just forgot, like me, Wisconsin is like pitch black. Y'all know that's where Green Bay is, right? So just wanted to point that out, that they out there big hating on Tom Brady. We got a couple of Twitter responses on this that I thought were classic. Do we have those? Can we throw those up there? I think one of them was like, why isn't Florida darker? Everyone wanted Florida to be darker. And he goes, I thought that was obvious because he's winning right now. People in Florida are not mad at that. And then another user pointed out what I said, and that Green Bay is mad salty. And that is very, very true and understandable. But let's get on to this last one. I have to admit, I know, Devin, Britt told us a long time ago, stay off TikTok. And I did for a very, very long time. But I have to admit, I'm on TikTok and I'm addicted. I am a TikTok addiction person. And one of the reasons is because of all these athletes doing these amazing TikToks, and they're funny and I love them. And one of those, I sent this to my producer last night. This one is from Chase Claypool. He has not been on for a long time. I just got caught up on all his TikToks, and then he just disappeared. And I was like, what the hell, Chase? But he is back, and he's got Mama Bear on there, and she has the most adorable ending to this TikTok. Take a look.
Okay, we're a little rusty, but we're back. All right, so I know I've been gone for a little bit, but just hear me out, all right? I had to move all my stuff out of Pittsburgh and into Canada, where I'm gonna be here for like 6 weeks. I had to quarantine for like 2 weeks before I did anything, but most importantly, I had to hang out with Mama Claypool.
What about you now?
Nothing, I don't know.
Corvette.
Love that at the end. I'm obsessed with Chase's TikTok, you guys. So if you guys are looking for a fun athlete to follow, I'm just obsessed with his TikTok. But that's all I have for the post up. I'm going to really quickly get into what we not going to do, because it's Fan or Foe Friday and I can't wait to get it. But let me get to this one really quick, because like we've already talked about, nobody on this panel really has a dog in this race as far as Super Bowl Sunday. I will be watching, of course, and I'm excited, like I said, for Patrick Mahomes. Drew Brees only has one Super Bowl ring, and Patrick Mahomes has an opportunity to surpass him right now, and he's only 25 years old. That is a big deal for me, which is why I am going to be rooting for Patrick Mahomes most of the time. I'm sure I'll have a slip up here and there, especially if Antonio Brown catches the ball. But getting to the Super Bowl is no easy feat. There's a lot of teams that haven't been in quite some time. Like the Raiders. The last time they were in the Super Bowl was also the last time they were in the playoffs, which is in 2002. That year, ironically, Tampa Bay beat the Oakland Raiders. And guess who was coaching them at that time? That would be John Gruden. We give John Gruden a lot of credit. Not when I say we, I mean y'all, because I don't give John Gruden any credit, because that's literally the only highlight to his career. That's his only claim to fame. Every season since then has either been complete trash or mediocre. He did have that 11-5 record in 2005, but other than that, complete trash or mediocre. He is a trash coach. I keep telling y'all that. Nobody will listen, but at some point you're going to listen. Since joining the Raiders in 2018, he has had a 4-12 season, a 7-9 season, and this season 8-8. 8-8. Gruden is trash, you guys. Now, you want to talk about the level of privilege? I just had to throw this one in there. How much privilege do you have to maintain a job from 1998 to 2008, take that break, come back in 2018, and people think you're still the man, and you've only won one time, and it was a fluke because you haven't been able to duplicate it. Meanwhile, potential black head coaches have to prove that they can turn water into wine before they get a job. This is insane to me, but I digress. The fact of the matter is he's also not a real leader. We talked about this a lot during this pandemic. Raiders were fined $500,000, stripped of the 6th-round draft pick in the 2021 draft. And John Gruden was fined an additional $150,000 because he just was brazen in his, I don't give a damn about the COVID protocols. And that was like their second time being fined that. And then finally he comes back out and he's wearing these weird panties on his face. He's not a good leader. He is not a person that I would want in my locker room leading a team to anything, because he's not led them to anything except for one time in 2002. I think he is completely overrated, and I'm going to say it. I think he's slow. I don't think he's that smart. And you know why I think that? Because Chris Collinsworth had him on the show with Richard Sherman. And Chris Collinsworth basically says, hey, John, I know you're kind of slow here. And I know Richard Sherman has just laid out this whole resume because now you have hired this coach, Gus Bradley, that has coached Richard in the past. And Richard basically is like, hey, I did this, this, and this under Gus. I really like Gus. And he's hinting to the fact that, hey, maybe he'd like to make that move to the Raiders. So Chris is like, yo, John, my guy, don't do it. Don't take the bait, because we don't want. He literally tells him, listen what happens on this podcast.
Not that any of this could be construed as sending out a resume or anything, but it's possible Richard's available. But I know there's tampering rules out there, and I don't want to bring up anything that might create a problem for you, because I know you've been fined a few shekels over the years.
Yes, I have. I've been fined. I've been punished very, very harsh. But Richard Sherman, if you are a free agent, which there is a rumor you are, we are looking for an alpha presence in our secondary. Somebody that can play this Hawk 3 press technique with the reed step. If you're available and interested, maybe you and I can get together at some point off air.
All right, so you know all you need to know about John Gruden just from the sound of that interview, because it sounds like he's on the toilet in the bathroom somewhere. He couldn't even trouble himself to get his sound right, and that just speaks volumes about who he is. We can talk about Richard Sherman being the alpha dog at a later time, but Chris literally set you up to say, hey, don't do something stupid, and you did something stupid, because Richard Sherman isn't even a free agent until March 17th. All you had to do was listen to your boy and wait until March 17th, but you didn't. And now he is potentially going to be charged with tampering by the NFL. So what we're not going to do is pretend that John Gruden, the man who traded Khalil Mack, wore panties on his face, and completely tampered on air, is any kind of goat. He's a horrible coach. It's time for him to go. And I meant what I said, but that's all I have for what we not going to do. John Gruden.
Fan or foe?
Whoop whoop! It is Fan or Foe Fridays. We have a lot to get into today. There's actually 17 on the list, and some of my favorite ones are at the end. So we got to get into these. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions and compliments and disses and whatever this week. They were amazing, and we're just let's get this party started. Let's get it started. What we got, Leo? What we got? Chris said, we in a pandemic and y'all worried about an all-star game. You right, it's stupid. It's no argument. We kind of did talk about this a little bit earlier today again. I think it's pretty clear how we feel about it. It is stupid that they did not figure this out beforehand. Would you ladies agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yes. 1000%.
Yes. Let's just move along because we got some good ones I want to get into, and I want to make sure we have time. I'm not even going to try to say your name, but you said people want to have something to look forward to. As America, we went through a lot of trauma, and we have to trust Adam Silver, knowing he is the best commissioner in sports. This, again, is about the All-Star game. I would agree. I do think he is the best commissioner that we have right now in the four major sports, being football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. What do you guys think? Do you think this is just like a one-off bad decision that he made, or do you think that it was the teams that kind of pressed him to kind of do something like this? Do you think this was his idea?
Well, I think.
Oh, go ahead, Devin.
I'll go really quickly. I think Adam Silver is a great commissioner, and I do think that he is doing a really wonderful job. But I think that with that months-long hiatus that we had at the start of the pandemic, they're still trying to make up for lost revenue. And ultimately, the NBA is a business, and Adam Silver is a businessman, and he is doing what he needs to do to make money. And even though I do think that we've experienced this like collective trauma over the last year, it's not the athlete's responsibility to put themselves, their bodies, and their health on the line in order to entertain everybody. But I understand that it is part of the job,
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely think it was a money grab, and I think Adam Silver would have sealed his title as the best commissioner if he had put the health of the athletes in front of whatever money grab, and you told them, and if you would have stuck to your word. I'm a person where your word needs to mean something, so don't come to me and say, don't worry about it, you're going to get this break in March, and then change your mind when your accountant comes to you and says, wait a minute. So I mean, he has asterisks by his GOAT commissioner title for me.
Yeah, it's definitely, you don't know who, or you can't judge really, even in a relationship. I always say you can't, judge if this is your boo or not until you guys get in your first real fight and you have some controversy happen. So Adam Silver's been great, but he also hasn't had to deal with a lot of controversy. And this is the first big thing that he had to deal with. And he kind of failed the league and himself and the players on that one. So let's move on to the next one. What we got? Doug S. Awesome to see women that actually know sports. Great job, ladies. Doug, we love you. We thank you, my guy. We appreciate you watching.
I want to say my avid hobby horse watching definitely comes in handy on the Fumble. So for the person that asked if we actually watch sports, We do, obviously. So.
Me and my egg rolling. If you guys missed last episode, go check it out. It's online. Jay the Boss says Brett Favre just made that these young players is making lots of money, and he didn't. Don't hate old man. So basically, he was hating, if you guys didn't hear earlier in the week, that he was mad that players really are making a lot of money, and he said we make too much money to complain. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Is Brett Favre a hater? I think we came to the realization altogether that he was hating in that moment. Next one is going to be a good one. We're talking Chiefs. Of course, the trash player is. Of course, the trash player is used as the test dummy and is the first to get the haircut. Smart move, Chief. So this is actually he's one of the centers for the Chiefs, and he was the first one up to bat. But the day before, one of their receivers, who was actually a backup, it was DeMarcus Lawrence. No, wait, what's his name? I don't remember. But he is I don't remember because he's also not a popular player. And they were the first two to get their hair cut. And I want to know, ladies, why did they let anybody get a haircut before they got the results of the test back? This reminds me of the Dodgers World Series, where they took a player out of the game in the 8th inning because they finally got the results and he tested positive. Why did they not wait until his test results actually came back? It's not enough just to test them. You got to wait till the results come back.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't to me at all. I just feel like they tested him enough to think that, oh, he's fine. And then they were like, so we'll just give him one test because that's what we do. And then it comes back and then they're like, oh, damn. There was just one of those things where they probably just did it as policy, not thinking that it was actually going to happen. That's embarrassing though, when you're like, oh, I have to be the one that walks in there and be like, hey, so sorry, but you got to go.
This up. Patrick Y, or Patrick E, whatever you want to say. D Fox is right. Let's just get through the season safely without putting players at more risk. Again, this is about All-Star Game. Do you guys agree with Patrick on this one? I think we all collectively. Yes. Next one. Let's get to this next one. Jay the Boss again. Fox just wants more votes, but the All-Star Game will be lit. I also agree with that. I don't think De'Aaron Fox is going to make the All-Star Game.
I think he might have that interview. That's what I thought. That's what I think. He wanted to dredge up some, like, let me have people retweeting this so they can go and vote for me. I think it was all planned.
De'Aaron, we're peeping you, my guy. We're peeping you.
I didn't feel that way. I did not feel that way. But
you're getting better on B-Box. Do it for the people, girl.
Bricks.
Yes.
I've been practicing.
Good one.
Off the mic.
Good
job, Evan.
Right. Jackie, she definitely deserves a mic now. I'm feeling that Valentine's present coming soon. Right. Brett is, this is about Brett Favre again. Brett is the GOAT, but him talking about who makes what is none of his business. I say this all the time. Don't talk about other people's money. What do you guys think about what Ed Ward said?
I always say, stay out my pockets. Stay out my pockets. They are my pockets. Stay out of them.
But also just because of Brett's history, it's like you really shouldn't be saying anything about anybody's money, you know?
He forgot. He had amnesia for sure. Next. Mamba Machine Jackie could possibly whoop the hell out of Stephen A. What is he talking about? LOL. Jackie?
Nobody cares what Stephen A is talking about. But I tell you what, if we ever have a chance, I'll do that box. Since we all doing these trash boxing matches, I am challenging publicly Stephen A. Smith to a boxing match. Make it happen, y'all. I would win.
And it's funny because Stephen A. was the one saying he don't believe girls should be fighting at all and girls shouldn't be fighting with guys. But Stephen A., it's probably because you're going to lose.
Right.
Doug S. said, what else does Jackie do besides Pro Bowler, impressionist, singer, LOL? Question for the day. Jackie, you are the Jane. I said it actually in that comment section that day. I said, Jane of all trades is Jackie. She has 11 million jobs. She does a little bit of everything. What else? What is something that we don't know that Jackie can do that Jackie does?
Jackie has produced a few music videos for local artists here in LA.
So I need to be practicing my dance skills. Can I be in the next video?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. All right. Good question, Doug. Next, Black women need to I don't know what he's trying to say, pedestal of change. To be, maybe?
Be the pedestal, yes.
Be the pedestal of change and changing the world one day at a time. I'm tired of white men holding tyranny over Black women. It's awful. Y'all keep doing what you are doing. This might be my Fumble favorite fan of the week. I'm going to hold on to this one because that was good. Thank you.
But can you spell out? He's here right now. I don't know how to say your name. Can you spell it out and do it phonetically in the chat?
Phonetically, yes.
So we know how to say it, because I have no clue and I want to say it right.
Yes, let us know. All right. Mama Machine says, these celebrities boxing is severely diminishing the reputation of boxing as a sport. Interesting point here. It's embarrassing and shouldn't be encouraged, especially when the matches are unfair. Again, he's talking about that Lamar Odom versus Aaron Carter matchup that we talked about earlier this week. Aaron Carter is about 6'1". Lamar Odom is 6'10". That just doesn't even seem right in and of itself. They're definitely not the same weight size at all. Do you ladies think that this is actually diminishing the reputation of what boxing is?
Well,
I absolutely. Go ahead, Devin.
This keeps happening. We talked about this earlier. Sorry. I definitely think it's taking away from boxing as a sport because, these fighters train for their whole lives to get to where they are. And then one day we have Aaron Carter, of all people, deciding that he wants to box. So it's just it makes it seem like it's so accessible when in reality it's really tough and you really have to have the skill and be able to handle it. So I for sure feel that way.
Yeah, I agree. I saw somebody in the chat. I lost it, but somebody in the chat said no, they don't think it is because they feel like it's bringing more fans to the sport. And I feel like people who watch these type of fights are not fans of boxing because there is definitely a skill set in boxing. There's things that you can see that Floyd Money does that nobody else does. There's reasons why you watch certain fighters. And as much as I don't like Jake Paul, he actually respects the skill set that has to go into boxing, and he trains very, very hard to be good at what he does. So at least when he gets in the ring, there's a level of respect for the sport when he gets in. But everybody else, it's just all fun and games, and I think it's definitely disrespectful to the sport.
I think because somebody else did say celebrity boxing has been around forever, which I do even remember MTV having that clay celebrity boxing with the fake stuff. And I definitely understand that. And, we see, celebrity basketball games and celebrity football stuff all the time. So I think it's okay to do it in that realm. I think my issue is when actual boxers and actual fighters are now trying to box or fight against celebrities. Like Jake Paul trying to ask Conor to fight. No, Conor should never fight you. He's a real fighter and a real boxer. He's not a real boxer, but he did. I mean, he boxed professionally. He fought against Floyd, so technically, I guess he is considered a boxer. But I just don't like the intertwining of it. If you want to have it be a fun celebrity thing for charity, whatever, that's fine. But on another level, I can't stand it. Let's get into. We have a couple more left, and we're gonna get into these. Don't manifest curses. People believe in the Clippers curse, and it's not true. Yes, it is true. God has a path for everyone. And what are you saying? The Clippers' path is just not out of the second round? Blessings happen every day rather than curses. If you read my comment, you can call me JD.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. JD. How did he read our minds, though? How did he know that was good?
Because God has a path for everyone. So he knew this was coming. He knew we needed to know. He manifesting. Go ahead, JD. You my new favorite, for real. That was good.
Well, hands down now, between that one and this one just coming together, we have to give him our Fumble fan favorite of the week, even though we haven't finished yet. But yes, JD, you got all of that. You got all that, boo-boo. Okay, let's finish these up. We have a couple more, 3 more left to go. Dudley has enough time on the bench to write books. Facts!
It should be more than 42 pages then. It should be like at least 100 pages.
A page a game, I guess. He sits there on the bench and writes. That was a good one. That one was funny. Okay, Harden needs that Pepto-Bismol sponsor.
Can we stop? It's been months. It has been months.
Okay, you know
I'm
what,
over it.
guys? I just figured it out. This is why James Harden wanted to go to the Brooklyn Nets, because their jerseys are black. And he was like, they are not going to be able to see my poop stains anymore when I wear the black jerseys.
Okay, next.
Last one of the day is from Mamba Machine. Yes, I love all the interesting opinions of the Fumble Squad, especially because it's an all-female panel. Representation matters, y'all. Thank you for that. That is so awesome. You guys, these were great questions today. I love doing Fan or Faux Fridays. You guys are so amazing. Keep them coming. I love talking to you guys really all week long, but especially on Fridays when we really get to take that time. So thank you guys again. Congratulations to JD on being our Fumble fan favorite of the week. And we can't wait for next week. We need to start doing a tally of these and see who wins most Fumble fan favorites for the week. We definitely should.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, you guys. Well, that was great. Loved that, except for constantly being reminded of James Harden. I can do without that. Please, let's leave that.
I told you guys, the end was my favorite ones.
Oh my God. All right, you guys. Well, we are going straight into the weekend now, so make sure you turn into Weekend Zone tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we'll see you Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, everyone.
We'll be talking Super Bowl Monday. Get excited.
Woo, woo.